Gurun Vaishnavanscha.
Hare Krishna, welcome. My name is Latika, and we are reading Bhagavad-gita as it were, because Bhagavad-gita is a wonderful book. So I'm starting with the introduction. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who translated this version of Bhagavad-gita, gave us a quite long introduction, and it's I like to start with it to get into the right angle of approaching Bhagavad-gita. So I will read a little, I will talk a little bit, and hopefully there will be some questions and comments. You can add them in the field below, and I'll try to get back to them. Here Krishna is talking to Arjuna. He tells Arjuna that he is relating this supreme secret to him because Arjuna is his devotee and his friend. The purport of this is that Bhagavad-gita is a treatise which is especially meant for the devotees of the Lord. There are three classes of transcendentalists: the Jnani, the Yogi, and the Bhakta, or the impersonalist, the meditator, and the devotee. Here the Lord clearly tells Arjuna that he is making him the first receiver of the new parampara, disciplic succession, because the old succession was broken. It was the Lord's wish, therefore, to establish another parampara in the same line of thought that was coming down from the sun god to others, and it was his wish that his teaching be distributed anew by Arjuna. He wanted Arjuna to become the authority in understanding the Bhagavad-gita. So yes, the science of Bhagavad-gita. Bhagavan is a way of describing God as a very great person, and Gita means that which is sung, the song, or that which is recited. So Krishna is giving deep spiritual knowledge, also quite practical knowledge of understanding how to live in this world. And this is transcendental knowledge. Transcendental means that which is beyond the senses and the mind. And we have here, traditional in India, and also we can see traces of the same mentalities in our Western approach to spirituality and religion also. The Jnani, this is the student approaching knowledge as something that is to be learned, something that is to be studied, and something that is to be mastered. And the realization that comes from the Jnana Yoga system is generally understood as the impersonal realization of God. Then we have the yogi, who turns to inwards meditation. This is a system of meditation that is quite extreme. It takes a very long time to train the mind, to train the senses, to instead of allowing the consciousness to flow out through our senses, instead of allowing the input to come in through the senses, we turn inwards. We block the external senses and turn to the heart, where the soul is situated side by side with super soul, and realize him that way. This is extremely difficult. Then we have the Bhakta, the devotee of the Lord. That yoga method is called Bhakti Yoga, the yoga of love. So there are many things to be said about Bhakti Yoga, but we can especially point to the fact that the Jnani and the Yogi are mainly doing a process on their own endeavor. Of course, according to the Vedas, that understanding is there, but they will master a certain technique, they will master a certain school, and then they will gain a realization. The Bhakti Yogi, the Bhakta, is different, because as a Bhakta you turn to God as a person. You want to serve him, you want to love him. You also want to understand him, you want to gain some spiritual realization, same as with the other processes. And you do follow some regulations in your life. The main thing is, though, you become dependent on Krishna's mercy, and you have a desire to relate to Krishna as a person, to please him as a person. And here Krishna tells Arjuna, you are my Bhakta. Bhaktosi me sakha cheti. You are my Bhakta and my friend as well. Therefore I am speaking to you. So here Krishna doesn't have to come out and be all official and how to say, he doesn't have to please the crowds. He doesn't have to give some carrot and some stick. He doesn't have to manipulate our understanding or give us some side benefits. He speaks to a person he can trust, and he speaks to a person who trusts him. And therefore he can be more open, more honest, and he can reveal the secrets. So how is Bhagavad-gita a secret? We are the Hare Krishnas. We are on every street corner. We're trying to give everyone a Bhagavad-gita. How is it a secret? The secret is that unless your heart becomes a little soft, a little open, unless you have a little bit of a humble attitude, trying to hear from Krishna and understand his point of view, you won't see it. The point is there, but you won't see it. Yes. So here, the Lord tells Arjuna he will make him the first receiver of the parampara. So a parampara means a line of in the disciplic succession. It means that the knowledge is not something we have to dig up from under a stone, or something that comes in a very vague tradition that we always did it like this in our family. But it means that Krishna trains his disciple, his devotee, to understand this knowledge fully. And then that person, that is the thing, in a disciplic succession, you are receiving the knowledge from a line of spiritual masters. But those spiritual masters are also disciples, they are also servants, so they can show you how to be a servant of Krishna. And they can handle this knowledge very, very gently. So it will not be destroyed by time. But at the same time, each one can give it personally to the next person. So it's not just some book that we hopefully will understand it, but maybe we will misunderstand it, because we will receive it from a person who knows it and who knows you also. And here Krishna wanted Arjuna to become that person. So we see that Bhagavad-gita is instructed to Arjuna, especially because Arjuna was a devotee of the Lord, a direct student of Krishna, and his intimate friend. Therefore, Bhagavad-gita is best understood by a person who has qualities similar to Arjuna. That is to say, he must be a devotee in a direct relationship to the Lord. As soon as one becomes a devotee of the Lord, he also has a direct relationship with the Lord. That is a very elaborate subject matter, but briefly it can be stated that a devotee is in a relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead in one of 5 different ways. One may be a devotee in a passive state, one may be a devotee in an active state, one may be a devotee as a friend, one may be a devotee as a parent, and one may be a devotee as a conjugal lover. So, yes, this is more elaborately described in a book from the 6 Goswamis that is called Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhi, the Nectar of Devotion, that very elaborately describes this both in a technical way and also in a devotional way, and in a very, how to say, detailed way, so that we can read it later. But here it is good to have a little bit of an understanding what it means being a devotee. It means you are a person and Krishna is a person and you love him. So here Prabhupada goes on to describe Arjuna was in a relationship with the Lord as a friend. Of course, there is a gulf of difference between this friendship and the friendship found in the material world. This is transcendental friendship which cannot be had by everyone. Of course, everyone has a particular relationship with the Lord, and that relationship is evoked by the perfection of devotional service. But in the present status of our life, not only have we forgotten the Supreme Lord, but we have forgotten our eternal relationship with the Lord. Every living being out of the many, many billions and trillions of living beings has a particular relationship with the Lord eternally. That is called Svarupa. By the process of devotional service, one can revive that Svarupa, and that stage is called Svarupa Siddhi, perfection of one's constitutional position. So Arjuna was a devotee, and he was in touch with the Supreme Lord in friendship. Yes. So we want to start the Bhagavad-gita from the beginning. Especially the 2nd chapter is contents of the Gita summarized. It's called like that. You get the basic philosophy, very practical. Prabhupada used to describe it as the ABC of spiritual life. It's very start. It's something that is quite possible to understand and apply. But in the introduction, Prabhupada goes quite deeply into the heart of bhakti, into the core of bhakti. Bhakti means love. A relationship to God means love. Our nature as living entities is that of a person. And we know in this world also, even if we don't bring in anything spiritual at all, the main happiness, the main center, the main thing that we are happy about comes in relationship. If we enjoy something, it's so much better to enjoy it together with our friends. If we have a family, maybe we have children, and we see the little darlings, and all the struggles to bring in the money and to run the household and to battle with time and weather and so on. It all flies out the window when we see the little baby smile the first time. And that is our nature. We want to find that person who we can have a relationship to. We can give love and we can receive love, because we are not theories, we are persons. We are not some impersonal energy that just demands to be free of this material body. We are actually a real actual person that is hampered by this limiting material body, so that our full personality cannot come out. This is not beginning spiritual life, but it is essential to actually know, even in the beginning, we know where we are aiming for. In our heart of hearts, we are already a person. Right now, we're conditioned. I think I'm Swedish. I think I'm a woman. I think I'm, going from middle age to old. This is not me. This is just my body. But the fact that I'm a person, that I relate with my friends and with my family and with, in different ways, different relationships, that I bring with me from my spiritual nature. And to understand that those different relationships exist in the spiritual world, it is good, because sometimes spiritual life and religion seems like a dry thing. It seems like you have to do these things because otherwise you will go to hell, or otherwise you will not come to heaven, or otherwise you will be stuck in this world and suffer. So it becomes a very negative approach. But the positive approach is, who am I really? If I understand I'm not this body, obviously I'm not this body when the hair starts to change color and the teeth start to fall out and the digestion starts to fail you. If I was this body, these things wouldn't happen. But I'm the person, the same exact person as when I was a little child, carefully running around, or as when I was a young mother. The person is there because the person is spiritual, and we want to understand this person, and we want to understand who we really are. And when we approach that question, who am I? That means, what is my real situation? What is my real relationship? And what is the best way to arrange my life according to it. Jai, thank you very much.
Thank you for watching. We aim for updates every Tuesday and Friday. Please come back. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down there. We also have some links and information for you. And there is, of course, the subscribe button. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I'm a Hare Krishna, and I approve this message. Subscribe.
Vandeham Shri Guru